Hey everyone, welcome back. So I will be reading chapter 1 for We'll Grow Oranges in Alaska, my first self-published book. So hope you guys enjoy it. Close your eyes, sit back, and just relax. Let me transport you to the world I've created inside my head. And as this is the first chapter, I just want to say again, the dedication is for my grandmother, Jane Gabler, my parents, Jim and Christine Gentry, and my 7th grade English teacher, Miss Colleen. I did try to look you up, but you know, they tore Cutler Middle School down in Mystic, Connecticut, so there was no way to find you and contact you. But yeah, I hope you know the impact and the difference you had on my life. And I'll just start with the little quote I wrote inside. We are all searching for meaning within ourselves, that we've restricted and ruled out a parallel of lifelines in hopes of fitting in or avoiding loneliness. We're told, and we even believe, that we have one agenda, one predetermined destiny to fulfill. Am I attracted to you because of the circumstances or the contrary? Preface. The first time she saw him, she knew right away there was something different about him. He wasn't like all the other students. There was a certain distinction to him, something overlooked, something most teachers hadn't had the eyes to recognize. In fact, most people missed it actually, or perhaps they were too tired from all the years of professional service and daily grind to see past their routines. But Ellie was different. She had a chip on her shoulder. She always had to be the savior on account of her own personal shortcomings. She was so convinced and so motivated that she would be the one to help him. She couldn't see that she was the one who really needed to be saved. Loris would be, to both their surprise, her saving grace, in spite of all of her personal shortcomings. It started out like any other school day in the bustling city of Hong Kong. Children were rushing in, flooding the school's gates. Teachers sighed, muttering amongst themselves that Friday was just another few days away, and Chinese New Year was just around the corner, when in fact it was over a few months away. This banter always started on a Monday and continued until the last school bell rang on a Friday afternoon. The school bell sounded and tardy pupils were kept behind in order not to disrupt the morning assembly, while the rest of the students lined up by class. The disciplinary master made her way towards the stage. "Good morning, students," she said sternly, as if talking to a group of prisoners in a concentration camp. Her eyes darted, glancing out, challenging someone to try and disrespect her, just so punishment could be carried out. She got off on punishment. "Good morning, Mrs. Green," the student said monotonously, with sleep still in their eyes. Not satisfied, she snapped back. "Let us try that again, shall we? Good morning, students." Her eyes narrowed even more. It was a wonder she could even see. "Good morning, Mrs. Green," they all said, bowing, eyes wide open now. Hong Kong students were groomed at the early age of 4 to show the utmost respect to their teachers. Still dissatisfied, Mrs. Green opened her mouth to speak, but stopped herself when she took out her gleaming pocket watch and realized the time. She snapped her mouth shut and reposed herself. If there was anything to know about Mrs. Green, it was that the only thing more important to her than respect was punctuality, a characteristic she regarded in the highest setting and the highest of standards, not just with her pupils, but also to all other subordinates, especially her teaching staff. Everyone feared her, more so the teachers than the students, since there was more at stake for them. The only way to get on Mrs. Green's good side was to beat her at a game of poker, and everyone knew that her game, and she would never lose. Lose, and not only will you have lost your money, but you will have wasted her time, and she would never let you forget that. You would become indebted in more than one way. As you all know, Mrs. Butler is no longer with us, as she is now on maternity leave, she said, clenching up her face as if the thought of it disgusted her. She detested children and thought babies were the worst kind of children. The students let out a sigh of instant approval, making it clear that they would not be missing their irreplaceable, but apparently replaceable English teacher. Ignoring them, she continued, "So without further delay, I would like to all of you to welcome your new English literature teacher, Mrs. Abrams," she said, motioning for the new teacher to come on stage. As the new teacher approached the podium, the room instantly fell silent, and everyone's eyes darted towards her, trying to size her up. Some showed instant approval, while others, mostly the teaching staff, weren't so impressed. She looked way too casual and young to be a teacher, and the turnaround rate for English teachers at this school was high due to student discipline problems. It was only a matter of time until she too had enough to quit. They wouldn't waste their time investing in getting to know her. Sensing that she was now the focus of attention, she drew in a deep breath and approached, trying to appear confident, though she was really trembling inside. Handing her the mic, Mrs. Green urged her on. "Good morning, everyone. My name is Mrs. Abrams, but please call me Ellie," she said, letting out a nervous laugh. Her hand holding the mic shook uncontrollably. Still silence. "I'm really excited to be at your school and hope I'm able to get to know each and every one of you personally. I'll be hosting a fun English activity at lunchtime in the multi-purpose room today for those of you who are interested in coming to get to know me. I hope to see you all there," she said, handing the mic back to Mrs. Green and scurrying away in her high heels as fast as possible, being careful not to trip on her way out. "I expect you will all not give Ellie any trouble and welcome her with open arms," Mrs. Green said carefully, eyeing the pupils, knowing full well that they would certainly be causing the same trouble that they had given Miss Butler, forcing her to take early maternity leave when her baby wasn't due for another few months.